I woke
Well,
up to the weirdest dream at about 3:30. And your dad was out of town for work, and there was like this huge, it was like this giant balloon, but it was like an alien ship that was descending upon the town. And Kendra and Hannah came in this old wood-sided station wagon to pick us up, and they're like, "We got to go right now. We're going to our cabin in Forks, and we're hiding out." Ava and I jumped in. I don't know where anybody else was. I don't know where Hallie was. We jumped in this old beat-up station wagon and drove off to Forks, trying to get away from the alien
what in the
invasion.
world?
Like,
Trading
what?
in aliens for vampires?
I guess it was so weird. It's not like I watched anything strange before I went to bed. I don't know. It was weird.
Funny.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. I've been having weird dreams like pretty much every night, but then I wake up thinking, God, that was weird. And then I can't remember what it was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I usually don't remember, but I don't know.
Maybe an alien invasion is coming and you needed to remember this one.
Maybe. And the place to hide out is Forks, Washington.
I guess so.
You heard it here first, folks.
I mean, if vampires and werewolves can hide out there for years and years, maybe.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Hello, and welcome to Love on the Pod, a podcast about all the cheesy romantic TV movies we adore. I'm Danny.
I'm Sherry.
And I'm Jessica.
This week we are reviewing the new Hallmark movie, Santa Tell Me. And you guys know how excited I have been about this movie. I am obsessed with When Calls the Heart. And so to see Erin Krakow and Daniel Lissing together again was like a dream come true. As soon as they announced it, I was so excited. So I was thrilled to see this movie. This one is about Olivia, who is a successful interior designer, and she finds a letter, an old letter from Santa, promising that she'll meet the love of her life by Christmas Eve and that his name will be Nick. She's stunned to meet not one, not two, but three guys named Nick. And as she navigates these holiday romances, Olivia also finds herself drawn to her charming coworker, Chris, throwing her magical Christmas quest into question. With the clock ticking toward Christmas Eve, Olivia embarks on a heartwarming and humorous journey to uncover her true soulmate. Thank you, Hallmark, for that synopsis.
Lovely.
Yes. Okay, so this one was released on November 9th, 2024. It stars, of course, Erin Krakow, who plays Olivia, who we know as Elizabeth Thatcher from When Calls the Heart. She's also in about, approximately 80 billion other made-for-TV movies and series because she's just a national treasure. I don't think I've ever seen anything that she's in that I did not like. A couple of my favorites are The Wedding Cottage and then also the whole Father Christmas series, Finding Father Christmas, Engaging Father Christmas, and Marrying Father Christmas. Although I do take issue with the titles of those movies. I think they're really stupid, but the movies themselves, I really enjoy. Like, who thought it was a good idea to name a movie Engaging Father Christmas?
Well, does she get engaged to him in that one?
Yes, but
Yeah.
why is it called that?
I know.
I did, like, when my husband and I got engaged, I don't refer to that time period as engaging my husband. It's weird.
Courting.
Yeah. Well, as we found out from Jonathan Bennett on the cruise, I don't think the actors have any choice in what the movie is called.
And
No,
sometimes we even
unless
get
they're
a bonus.
producing it.
Sometimes we get two titles for whatever reason. Years later,
yeah.
the title changes and you can't find it anymore.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
All right. So opposite Erin Krakow is Daniel Lissing. He plays Chris. Also, we know him from When Calls the Heart as Jack Thornton. He's also in a number of other made-for-TV movies. He's in Christmas Keepsake. He's also in A December Bride, which is one of my favorites. So love Daniel Lissing.
Have you guys seen him in Catering Christmas?
No, I haven't seen that one.
I love that one. It's got Merritt Patterson is the female lead. It's so cute. I really, really like that one. So highly recommend.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking of that Valentine one that we watched. with a competition, a cooking
Oh,
competition. So no, I don't think I've seen Catering Christmas yet.
Is that a newer one?
Maybe 2 or 3 years old.
Okay. All right.
To check it out.
One thing I found out about Daniel Lissing when I was doing some background research for this movie, you guys, I had no idea he was Australian.
Oh.
No idea.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
His American accent is fantastic. I had no idea because I was watching an interview with him and Erin Krakow about this movie, and he started talking, and I was like, "Excuse you, what?" I had no idea.
He has a great Australian. English accent.
Yes, it's so believable.
Yeah, or American accent, I guess, not English. I mean, he probably can do an English accent too.
He probably could. He's a magician. I had no idea. So anyway, it also is starring Benjamin Ayres, Christopher Russell, and Kurt Żarka. I don't know. Jessica, with your Polish husband, you'll have to help me out with this. Szarka.
Żarka, yeah.
Żarka. Okay, yes, I said it right. Okay, and those are all of the Nicks. Nick A, Nick B, and Nick C. This one is directed and written by Ryan Landals, which I thought was really cool. I don't think I've seen that yet, where the writer is also the director. And Erin Krakow said that he was just a joy and a talent to work with, and that he has a magical imagination. So that was kind of cool.
I think he's doing 2 movies this season too for Hallmark.
Oh, cool.
Because I was looking him up because he's a pretty big time director and writer, and he's never worked with Hallmark before.
Let's see. Yep, as soon as I Google him, Santa Tell Me comes up right away. Oh, he's done some stuff with Disney. Gem and the Holograms. Okay. I don't see another Hallmark one, but it's very likely could be out there. My very limited Google search that took 10 seconds just then did not bring it up. Okay, so before we dive into the movie recap, I'd love to know your initial thoughts.
I loved this movie. I thought as soon as I saw the magical aspect, I thought, oh, Danny's going to love this one because you've got your romance, it's Christmas, it's got holiday magic, it's enchanting. I loved this movie. I thought it was great. What about you, Jess?
I agree. It was so cute. I as a Hardy, I love the 2 of them together. I miss the 2 of them together. So yeah, I just thought it was great. I liked the premise. It was a little bit different from normal. And yeah, I just feel like Erin Krakow can just kind of do no wrong. So
No.
She's so great.
True. She really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was super excited for this movie, but I was also nervous because I'm so obsessed with Elizabeth and Jack that I was like, what if I see them in different roles? And I'm like, I don't like it,
Yeah.
So I was a little bit worried about that. Yeah, I had such high expectations for this movie and it did not miss. I was so happy. And so after I finished watching it, I'm like, just like giddy, smile on my face, like that was such a good movie. And then I was like, oh, what if Jessica and Mom don't like it? So I'm so happy to hear that you guys enjoyed it just as much as I did. Okay, so great. Let's talk about it. I'm excited to talk about this one. Okay, so this movie opens with a young Olivia reading her little sister Darcy her letter to Santa. It's a detailed wish list describing her true love and asking Santa to reveal his name to her. And I just thought this was the sweetest little opening scene, the cutest little girls. And I thought it was really sweet how Olivia was reading the list to her, and her little sister, instead of like making fun of her or whatever, she was just so supportive, like this cute little, I don't know, 5-year-old. And it was just really sweet. I really loved it.
And that was a running theme throughout. The sisters were so supportive.
Yes. Yeah. I realized after I got my notes ready for this episode that I didn't talk a whole lot about her and her sister, but that was one of my favorite parts of this movie was their relationship and how like sweet and supportive of each other they were.
Mhm.
And they just had this really believable sister relationship that I thought was really sweet. I loved it.
And did you recognize little Olivia as little
No.
Juniper?
Oh my gosh. No, I did
Oh.
not make that connection from
You're
Junebug.
right.
Mhm.
Oh,
You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, I think so often in made for TV movies, we see a sibling who is like thinks that they're doing better in life, so they're just mean or putting a ton of pressure on their sibling or whatever it is, or actively playing into the like I'm mom's favorite role.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's
There's
nice.
some kind of trauma there.
Yeah, so
Like
it's
Buzz
nice.
from Home Alone.
Yeah.
There's got to be this villain kid.
Yeah, so it's nice to see that that's not happening. The only thing that bumped me a little bit about this scene was that I didn't feel like the little girl looked anything like Erin Krakow at all.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
But
Mhm.
that's okay.
Not even the slightest bit.
No.
But use your imagination, people.
Yes.
There's magic
Mhm.
in this movie.
Yes.
The other thing that I noted that becomes important, I didn't realize it was important when I wrote it down, but becomes important later, is that their childhood home is absolutely gorgeous. They do this wide shot of their childhood home, and it's just stunning. And I immediately was like, I want to live there. I want that
Mhm.
house. It's so pretty. It's the ultimate Christmas house, just gorgeous.
Well, and I noticed the opening credit or the opening scene is another one of those montages, but they're doing them so well now where it kind of shows her getting ready for her day and the making the coffee and going to work and all the things, but it's done really well with really good music. There's an
Mhm.
aerial shot of Seattle in the snow, which again, we usually don't get snow in Seattle in December, and I wonder, do they have just like a lot of stock footage of Seattle? Because a lot of Hallmark movies recently have been taking place in Seattle.
They must. They must have a
must.
lot of stock footage of all the big cities, you know?
Mhm.
Well, and I wonder why they don't base more movies in Vancouver since they shoot 99% of them in Vancouver. I wonder
Yeah.
if is it because Hallmark is an American company, they want to base it in an American city, or
Maybe.
I wonder.
Yeah,
why.
because this movie was filmed in Langley,
Yeah,
Mhm.
like
I
90%
didn't look it
of
up,
the other ones.
but I assumed.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I suppose because it's an American company, it's so popular here, people want to see American cities. But
They can
I
relate
mean,
to.
When Calls the Heart is based in Canada, and I'm obsessed. So
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
yeah, my daughters and I had to go down a rabbit hole of what the Mounties were because we were like, what in the world are these guys in the red? Who are these redcoats?
Yep. Mounties.
So we learned a little Canadian history. Okay.
They're like the Central Park Rangers.
Yes, even when they get cars, they stay on their horses. So, as you were saying, Mom, we get this montage of Olivia getting ready for her date. This is 25 years later. And one thing that really stood out to me was the alarm clock that she had. It was so cute. It was a little house. And I found it on Amazon. It's actually not expensive. It's $31.90, marked down right now for Black Friday deals. And if you want to get the cute little house alarm clock, you can do that. We'll link it in the Instagram stories so that you can go ahead and pick one of those up. I kind of want one. They're really
I know,
cute.
I love it. It's so cute.
So cute. They have multiple colors too. So.
Well, and she was happy when she turned her alarm off. So I'm like, oh, maybe if I get that alarm clock, I'll be happy too when I turn my alarm off.
I see her
But
watching.
it should have a cheery little sound instead of that.
Yeah.
Although any sound that is my alarm clock does not make me happy.
I'm like, I hate you. Go away.
I had the cheeriest alarm clock sound ever. And if I'm out and about and someone has it as their ringtone, I have a physical reaction. It makes me angry.
Yeah, because I set mine to some calming little soothing music and it goes off and I just want to huck my phone across the
Yeah.
room.
No, go away. Go
Yeah.
away.
Yep. Oh.
Okay, so she has her Peloton workout. She makes her coffee, which I had to notice was the same espresso machine that I have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And that made me really happy because I was like, Erin Krakow makes her coffee with the same coffee machine, even though this is Olivia. So that's probably not true, but it was cute. And she's packaging these perfect little Christmas cookies and bringing them to work with her. I'm like, wow, she really got up on time, didn't she? She was efficient over there.
Yeah. She's got her life together.
Exactly. She heads to work. She's meeting up with her team to go over some last minute details for their Christmas special because Olivia is an interior designer and she works for the Style Home Network. And every year they do the Christmas special where they choose a home and flip it into the perfect Christmas home. And so she's really excited about this project coming up when her boss pulls her aside and lets her know that the well-known creator of Model Home, which is a crossbreed between a dating show with models and interior design somehow.
Which honestly, I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. I mean, Model Home, what a great name.
Yeah.
They've
Yeah.
done everything else. Maybe
Yeah.
that'll be the next Hallmark series on Hallmark
Maybe.
Plus. Model Home, hosted by Daniel Lissing. So this well-known creator of Model Home will be coming in to oversee the show and ensure that it is a great success. So she's going to be working with this guy and she is none too pleased about it. She's pretty mad. And it reminded me of Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade when she's trying to plan the Thanksgiving Day Parade and they bring in this specialist to oversee everything. Yes, it gave me those vibes.
Yep.
Okay, now this scene I was a little mad at her for because she leaves work. She's like, I'm going to work from home. I'm mad. I can't be around people right now. I'm leaving. So she hops into her ride share. First of all, ladies, if you're getting into a ride share, do not tell them your name.
No.
Do not tell them what you think their name is supposed to be.
Yep.
You go to the car and you let them tell you. You let them check. Okay,
and you checked the license plate. When we got an Uber, when we got an Uber in Florida, every single time it gave me like this big warning notification. Check the license plate.
Yes.
Make sure it's the right car.
Because getting into the wrong car can be very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very, very dangerous. So yeah, that was the one thing I took issue with. I was like, come on, Hallmark, let's promote some safety here because she just hops into this car that she thinks is her ride share. She's like, yeah, Rodney, midsize SUV. I'm Olivia. Let's go. Take me home. And he's trying to tell her
she's
he's
rude.
not Rodney. She's rude to him. And she starts venting to Rodney about this guy, Chris, who's going to come in and oversee the show. And, at this point, as soon as you see him, but she doesn't know. And so she's being real rude, saying he's not even qualified to be a part of this show, yada, yada, yada. He's driving her home. That's the other thing is he's driving her home. Why isn't she like paying attention out the window, noticing that he's not taking her home?
She's looking down at her phone the whole time. She's so angry.
She has no idea she's in the wrong car with the wrong man going to the wrong location. This is very dangerous, ladies.
This is a Lifetime film about to happen.
Yeah.
Luckily, Chris, who we find out is actually the driver, the Model Home creator, is not a serial killer. So happy day for you, Olivia. But he does not take her home. He takes her to none other than her childhood home. And she says, what are you doing? Why are we here? At this point, she knows who he is. She's very embarrassed. And he says, I've changed things. And the house we're going to be flipping is not just any house for the Style Home Network Christmas special. It's going to be your childhood home. Thoughts on that?
The house is not ugly enough. It looks like they just kind of threw some random pieces of wallpaper on the
Mhm.
walls, and we're like, okay, it looks bad now. No, it
Yes.
doesn't. Like all the
And-
woodwork is beautiful, like the mantle is perfect, but it's just like, oh, somebody just ripped the wallpaper down and
Mhm.
called it condemned.
Yeah, and why is it condemned? Why hasn't it been lived in all these years?
Yeah, what's wrong
Can
with
explain that. It's in
Yeah.
foreclosure, I guess, but
That was one thing that I thought that they missed an opportunity on, was to explain what happened to this house,
Mhm.
because we never really get that in the movie, to
Yeah.
find out what happened to the house. Why has it been empty? Why did they move? Why, why anything?
why?
So so the outside, this childhood home that I was just commenting on how beautiful it was, is like all run down. The shutters are falling off. There's ivy everywhere. But yes, like you said, Jessica, when you go inside, it's like, this is a beautiful home that looks like somebody came in and trashed it one night, not like it's been sitting for years and years.
One big
Yeah.
party. Yeah.
Yes. But I did think it was hilarious as they're walking through the home, how everything that Chris touches falls apart.
Yes.
I thought that was so funny. Like he goes to lean on a wall and it caves in and his arm goes
Mhm.
through the wall, or he goes to open a door and the doorknob comes off. Like, nothing that she touches, but everything that he touches
Mhm.
breaks. And I
Yep.
just thought that was really funny. And obviously, they're butting heads. He's understandably hurt by all the nasty things she was saying about him. She's
Yeah.
embarrassed and also still frustrated that he's there interfering with her show. So they changed this filming location. There's so much work to be done, and in only 3 weeks. But as we've seen on, Extreme Home Makeover, they can all do all this in 36 hours, right? So
Right.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, they can do it. That leaves the family with a big ass tax bill that they can't afford. But okay.
Yeah.
Sounds
that
like a
worked out
good
really
plan.
well.
Yeah. We're going to save your financial disaster by giving you more debt.
Yes. Great plan there, HGTV. Maybe you could cut him a check.
That was
Uh-huh.
ABC. That was ABC.
Oh, was it ABC?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, gosh.
But they're all the same.
They're all the same.
Mhm.
I highly doubt that any of those families are still living in those homes.
A
Mm-mm.
lot of them were weird, if we're being honest. Like, the designer would come in and be like, oh, this child loves this and wants this for their whole space. And then they turn it into this crazy, like super, super niche theme. It's like, they're
Yeah.
gonna like
Your
this for
bedroom's
2
a
seconds.
basketball court now or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like what?
Not quite as bad as Trading Spaces where they glue moss to the wall or
Right.
just this random,
Right.
everything's purple.
Yeah. Come on,
Have
Lady,
you-
there's that one, the lady said she liked Prince, and so they came through and everything was purple, and there was a little red Corvette sitting on the coffee table, and she's like, I hate this. This is terrible. What are you doing?
Why? Why
You'll be
would
putting
you?
this back.
Have you guys seen the videos on Instagram? And she's probably on TikTok too, of the girl who makes fun of Extreme Home Makeover.
No.
And she talks about this exact thing where she's like, oh, I see you have a stack of school books. You must really love astronomy. And the little girl's like, well, not really. And she's like, you love astronomy. We're going to make your whole room all about planets. And she like pretends to be interviewed. Oh, she told me that she loves astronomy so much. It's her favorite thing in the whole world.
That's so accurate.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
We're going to take your
man.
entire house and put it inside a giant dome. So it's like you're living on a planet.
Yeah.
Your bedroom's actually in the backyard now, in the planetarium. There's no
Oh,
heat,
man.
but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well,
yeah.
hopefully Olivia and Chris have something a little bit more nice planned for this house.
Yes.
And really
Yes.
what they're doing is decorating for Christmas.
Yeah.
So they just need to fix up these few things and then decorate, because that's
Yeah.
the main theme of the show, is the interior design, right? So, I wanted to note this cutest thing. Okay, so later that night, Olivia's at the house. She invites her sister over. She's stressed. Her sister comes over. They hang out together, drink wine, talk about the house, talk about what's going on at work. Her sister brings her this reindeer sweater, and she has apparently knit it, which I don't buy it. It looks like you bought it at Target, but really cute. And apparently she makes these sweaters for her every year. And I was like, I want to learn how to make something special like that I can give my family every year. Although she has
all the
one
sweaters were
sister,
so cute.
so
Well, yeah, and the assumption, right, is that Olivia's wearing a sweater in every scene. So the assumption is, okay, these are all the sweaters that her sister has made
She's
her
given
over
her.
the
And they're all
years.
so cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. And I loved that. I had that same thought every time I saw her in a new Christmas sweater. I was like, oh, it's another one that Darcy made her. It's really cute.
But yeah, I also do not believe that she made those sweaters.
No.
It does not look handmade.
No.
Not even. She went to Marshall's.
Yeah. Yeah. And she makes them oversized. It's really in right now, she says.
Like, is it that oversized? It doesn't look that
oversized.
oversized.
And it looks cozy. I don't know. I want that sweater. So they're sitting chatting, and Olivia keeps hearing these bells ringing. And she heard it a little bit when her and Chris were at the house. But it's not until she's sitting on the couch with her sister that she starts really hearing it over and over again. And she thinks it's coming from the heater vent. So her and her sister pop the heater vent off, and inside is a glowing letter that's addressed to Olivia. And she opens it up, and lo and behold, it is an old letter from Santa Claus that tells her it was the response to her wish from when she was a little girl. And it tells her that if she's finding it, then now must be the right time. And that the name of her true love is Nick. She doesn't believe it's
the
real.
Christmas magic.
I was so excited. I love
the heater vent is
magic.
glowing. Yeah.
Yes. The bells just perfect. So anyway, she throws it away because she doesn't think it's real. And her sister's trying to tell her to keep it, but she doesn't want to, so they move on. Until the next morning when she's getting ready for work and it's on her table. And she's like, oh, haha, funny, Darcy. Like, nice try, right?
Yeah.
But she heads to work. She throws it away again, heads to work, and stops at a coffee shop on the way. And this day, she meets the three Nicks. So she walks into the coffee shop. She takes someone else's coffee. Lo and behold, his name is Nick. He writes.
And this was not Aurora Roasters, right? It did not look like it.
It was not Aurora Roasters.
So
So I'm curious what coffee shop it was, unless it was a different angle. Like,
oh, true.
Back entrance instead.
I know they posted on their Instagram the other day that they were closed all week for filming. I'm like, oh, what are they filming? I want to know.
What are they making?
Well, and I love that the sister could see it too, because so often in these movies with a little bit of magic, it's the lead character that hears the bells or can see the letter, and everybody else thinks that they're a little cuckoo. But her sister was in on it right from the start. I thought that was a cute little twist.
Yeah, I loved that she could see it. It wasn't like this thing that she feels like she's crazy because no one else can see it. It happens when she's all by herself. This is something that anyone can see.
But her sister couldn't hear the bells, right?
Yes, that's true.
Until about halfway through the movie. And then all of a sudden she could hear them.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Continuity wasn't there. That's fine.
Maybe she's starting to believe a little bit more.
Yes.
And so now she can hear the bells.
Maybe it's like Polar Express.
You can only hear the bells if you are a true believer.
Yes.
We watched Christmas Chronicles last night. That's where true believer comes from.
Oh, so good.
Love it.
Good.
Love
it so much. It was really cute. We actually watched Christmas Chronicles 2 the night before. And I think this is the first time we've watched it where Ashby, my 3-year-old, actually can kind of comprehend what's going on. And so last night we turned on the first one because he really liked the second one. And we're watching it, and it's the part where she goes into the Santa bag and she's in the workshop, and the little elves start appearing, and Finley was like, what are those? And Ashby goes, it's elveses.
Elveses. That's cute.
It's the elveses. It was really cute. I digress. Okay, so he heads to the coffee shop, takes the wrong coffee, ends up with a little coffee shop meet cute. The guy writes his name and his phone number on the coffee cup. He seems to be charming and wonderful. And so she takes the coffee, and after he leaves, she looks at it and it says his name is Nick. And she's like, "You have got to be kidding me. No way.
Mhm.
No way." But his name is Nick. So is it just a coincidence? Maybe. Until she walks out of the coffee shop and runs smack into a handsome, rugged guy wearing a white shirt and spills her coffee all over him. And he's very sweet about it. And she ends up giving him her reindeer sweater, which I was like, what the heck, man? Your sister
No
made you
way.
that. Why are you
Yeah.
giving that sweater away?
And
But
he puts it on over the shirt that is soaked
Yes.
with coffee
that was a perfect opportunity for like
to
a
take it
shirtless
off.
moment.
Okay.
But do they really do that in Hallmark other than
No.
on Finding Mr. Christmas?
No.
They really
Maybe
don't go
not,
for the
but
beefsteak
I mean,
or
should
beefcake.
they?
Beefsteak, that's a tomato. The beefcake shots.
One thing that I noticed though about this particular meet cute with Nick B was that his phone number was a 206 number. So it was very
I noticed that too.
correct.
That's King
Yeah.
County.
Yeah, I
Oh.
loved that. And it's usually a 555, but it was not.
Uh-huh.
So they put an actual phone number in there?
Yeah, I'm sure
Call
they
it?
had to. I'm sure. Nick, are you there?
Nick B? Are you really a furniture maker?
Christopher Russell? Okay, Mom, I have to know. What did you think about his face this time? Was it
He looked great. He
Okay.
wasn't all shiny and stretched out and overly tan because that was my issue with him. I thought he looked very handsome in this one.
okay?
So
Okay, good.
maybe he had a little tweaking. I don't know. I'm not going to weigh in on that because I don't know this to be fact. But the movie about the bakery that we saw recently, I just was distracted by the shininess of his face. So
And I still think you're crazy, and he looks
And not so
exactly
much.
the same in this movie as he did in that one, but that's fine.
maybe it was the lighting. I don't know. But yeah, I thought he looked great.
Oh my
He did look great. I will agree with
Yeah.
you on that.
Yes.
looked
And I
great.
love the little cameos of the other Hallmark leading men.
Yes.
Yes, I love that it wasn't just a day rate actor, right? It was like
Yeah.
people that are well
They're people we
known.
know. Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Yep. So she gives him the sweater, and he puts his phone number in her phone so they can meet up later. Because who doesn't have two suitors back to back like that in one day when
Of
you've been
course.
single for 30 years, whatever?
Both named Nick.
Right.
Right.
She looks at her phone. His name is Nick. She's like, what is happening? I've now met two Nicks the day after I found out my true love is named Nick. Thank you,
Mhm.
Santa. So she is walking away from Nick B when she's totally distracted, not paying attention, walks right into the street, almost gets hit by a speeding truck with a Christmas tree in the back. This guy does not have a lot of Christmas cheer. He's very rude.
Mhm.
And she gets pulled out of the way by another handsome stranger who's named Nick C. So now we have Nick A, Nick B, and Nick C, and they all like her, and they've all given her their phone number. So there you go. Now she's on a mission to figure out which Nick is the right Nick.
Can I just say, I am newly obsessed with Benjamin Ayers. He's amazing. And he was on the second cruise. He
Mhm.
is like in the trenches with everybody, constantly knocking on people's doors to say
I
hi,
saw that.
putting
That's
stuff in their
amazing.
stockings, like just there to be fully in it. And it is so cool. He was in all the Facebook groups, like trying to get feedback on what he could do differently to make the experience better. And
Wow.
he's just awesome. And his style is like outrageous, but also really
Uh-huh.
cool. And
Yeah.
he just seems like a great guy. So I'm
That's
now
awesome.
obsessed with Benjamin Ayers. I love him.
I saw that a lot of the Hallmark artists were going door to door and giving little gifts and taking selfies like late at night when people were in their pajamas ready for bed.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, if that happened to us, we would have said, no, thank you. because,
Go away. And then realize
because we had them
uh-oh.
knocking at like 11:30 at night. It was housekeeping, but But if
Housekeeping at 11:30?
they thought we
Yeah.
needed towels for some reason, they were at the wrong door.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So, but we could have missed our chance to meet Tyler Hines in the middle of the
Yeah.
night if we
Yeah.
would have
Gosh, you
said no,
guys.
thank you.
utilize the peephole. Make sure it's not something special.
Well, and in this movie, I'm just gonna digress a little bit. I had taped it on or recorded it on Friendly, and usually when I do that, I fast forward the commercials. But it was at this point that a commercial caught my eye, and it was a janitor working in a theater, and he's sweeping and he's cleaning and polishing, and while he's doing so, he's singing, and he's got the most amazing singing voice, and somebody on staff notices, and they arrange to get him this tuxedo jacket. I think it's a commercial for Amazon because they could get the jacket very quickly. And they put him up and he sings in front of the crowd and he's just got this amazing voice. It's an older man. And I am blubbering at this point. And then they show another one. It's two houses next to each other, and it's a young girl, a young woman, and a young man. And they're going home and they open up their little mailboxes that are right by the front door, and they each get a little ornament every day, and they're thinking that the other is giving it to them. And so they're going to have this little meet cute where they decorate each other's trees. And then it pans over to the elderly couple across the street, and you've got all these art supplies on their table and glue and glitter, and they're the ones making the ornaments and putting them in because they want them to. And I'm like,
Oh,
what are you doing to me, Friendly? They
That's
were the
really
sweetest
sweet.
commercials. Yeah, I just loved it. So if you get a chance to see those, check them out. Very
Yeah,
cute.
I skipped
cute.
all the commercials, so
Me too.
Yeah,
now I'm sad I did.
Yeah.
I think it was right after she met Nick C. So if you want to check it out.
Go back
Okay.
through and see.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I digress. Here we go. Next up.
We're always
Yeah.
digressing.
that's
Oh, yeah.
okay. I'm glad. Okay, so Olivia meets up with Chris at the house to go over the plan for the show, her plans for the design, and it continues where every time he's in the house something breaks. But he looks over her plan and he eventually approves it. Even though there is some major tension between them, he's able to put that aside and approve the plan. And then she gets ready for her very first date with Nick A. So I wanted to just quickly go through the first 3 dates with the 3 Nicks. So her very first date is with Nick A. I found it interesting that she met all 3 of them in the order that she went on dates with them. Mhm. Yep. So Nick A, we find out, is a brain surgeon. He was a doctor in Doctors Without Borders. He's like, super rich and has all the things, right? He rents out the entire ice skating rink for just the 2 of them, which was that really necessary? Like, couldn't they have just gone ice skating? I don't know. But he rented out the entire thing just for the 2 of them. They're having a great time, but he has some champagne for them. And she pops the champagne at the same time that she slips on the ice, causing the cork to go up into Nick's eye. They both fall on the ice. It's a disaster, but they're laughing, but they have to go to the hospital because she hit him in the eye with
And
the
those
cork.
come out with such force. Wouldn't
Oh
it
yeah.
shatter his eye socket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Because for the remainder of the movie, he doesn't have a black
He's
eye or
fine.
anything.
No,
yeah, he's
no.
fine.
No injury. He's fine. He just had to go to the hospital.
Mhm.
I always pop my champagne with a towel over the top of it because I'm terrified that I'm going to break a window or put a hole in the ceiling or hurt someone. So.
Yeah. I just slowly twist it off and then pull it
Yeah,
with
I twist
my hand.
it, but I do it with a towel over it too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was outside, like in a field,
No, some random cow gets
going around.
knocked in the head.
I loved this scene. I thought it was so funny. The only thing I took issue with was his beanie. I was like, please take that off. Do not. What? Why?
Yeah.
Why are we wearing
It's cold,
this?
Jessica. It's cold.
It wasn't even covering his ears.
No. One of those beanies you just kind of plop on
It
the
was
top
like
of
a
your head.
hipster beanie. I'm like, I know they're
Uh-huh.
trying to be cool and show his curly hair, which is great, but like, just do without the beanie because February in Vancouver is chilly, but not that cold.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I had to
I'm
yawn.
waking you up here.
Okay.
I was like, do you disagree with me?
No, I just got caught by the Sandman. Okay, so after this date, she goes on her date with Nick B. Now, Nick B is the one that she spilled the coffee on. He owns a custom furniture shop that her and her sister Darcy visit for the show. So they actually bump into him on accident again. And he's telling her, budget is an issue for the show, right? She's trying to stay in budget because Chris went and purchased her childhood home. And so that was a big hit to the budget. And he has to approve all finances going forward. And so she wants custom furniture, but he's like, you can't have custom furniture. We can't afford it. You're going to have to like IKEA it or something. And turns out Nick B owns the custom furniture shop and he just says, you can have whatever you want. It's great exposure to be on TV. You can have whatever you want, which is awesome. And so from there, Nick invites her on a date to the Christmas market. And they seem to be having a good time. They go to the market where they run into none other than Chris, of course, and his lady friend. And it's here that I noticed that Olivia seems a little bit jealous of Chris having a lady friend there with him.
Because prior to that, her sister had asked about Chris and she said, talking to this guy is the equivalent of gas station sushi. But she's not interested at all.
Which sounds like something you would say in defense mode.
Yeah.
Like
True.
Trying to convince yourself that you weren't starting to like this guy.
Yeah.
So Nick B goes to get them some hot chocolate. And in the meantime, Chris challenges Olivia to a carnival game of snowman knockout. So you have to throw the incredibly hard snowball at the snowman and knock him down to win the prize. So Chris throws a snowball and knocks him down immediately. Then it's Olivia's turn. She throws the snowball, but her aim is really bad because she doesn't even hit the game at all. And she ends up hitting Nick B in the back of the head with the snowball with force. And he goes down and also needs medical intervention. So that's 2 for 2 so far that she's knocked out her dates. That's good. Good sign. In the meantime, her and Chris are getting to know each other a little bit more. She finds her family height chart in the kitchen of the old house. And her and Chris are just, they're starting to chat on a more human level and not be so angry with each other. And it's like, they have such good chemistry that it makes me wish they were married in real life. Just phenomenal. So good. So believable. Yeah. They make me laugh so hard when she was twirling her hand in the drywall dust on the counter and then just patted him on the chest and walked away. And he had the handprint of the drywall on his sweater. It was like, I was cracking up. It was so funny. It's really good. So then she goes on her third date with Nick C. Now, Nick C, admittedly, I did not like from the get-go.
Me either.
No.
He is a firefighter and he's obsessed with talking about how he is in the holiday calendar. And
very
he's not
into
very
himself.
Smart. He's kind of stupid. But he wanted to go get drinks, but she was like, you know what? Let's go Christmas tree shopping. I need a Christmas tree. So they do that and there's a little cookie decorating station. So she picks up a cookie and she sprinkles some little almond dust on it to make it look cute. It's a little Santa cookie and gives it to him. Like, here, I made you this cookie.
Okay. Can I pause you for just a second?
Yeah.
That cookie was decorated with royal icing. And when she handed it to him, there was nothing on it. She did not. That was so
I didn't pick up on that.
It was fully dry. She sprinkles this stuff on it, and then you can see when she hands it to him, there's nothing on top.
No.
Oh, that's funny.
I just thought that was funny.
but maybe it's the dust particles left over
Yes.
that cause his severe allergic reaction to the
Yes.
almonds. And he ends up in an ambulance on the way to the hospital as well. So now 3 for 3. She sent all 3 Nicks to the hospital.
Yeah, I wish they would have made this Nick a little bit more likable, because I felt like right out of the gate, like he was not an option for her. She should have just stopped dating him.
Why would she be falling for him? Because he's not likable.
No.
The other 2 I thought were great options. They were successful, they were kind, they were handsome, they were smart. Like Nick C was an idiot. He was like the classic, like stereotypical dumb jock kind of guy. He was not a good match for her at all.
No.
But maybe it was to show that she's so fixated on this letter and the guy's name is Nick. She's got to explore all the options.
True.
She's got to end up with a Nick by midnight on Christmas Eve.
Right.
So
yeah, because now at this point, the letter, the writing on it has magically changed. And this letter continues to pop up. She keeps throwing it away. It keeps reappearing. So whenever it glows, something magical is happening. And at this point, it's glowed and she's opened it and the letter, the writing has disappeared and new writing has formed that says she has to figure this out and pick a Nick by midnight on Christmas Eve where she's going to lose her true love forever. Which is very ominous, Santa. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why the deadline?
Why are we being so weird about this?
This is really weird. Why is this happening?
And why does her true love have the same name as you, Santa? I want to know.
I know. I truly thought that there was going to be some kind of twist, like your true love of Christmas or
Santa
like
connection.
something like that. Like it wasn't really like a romantic love, but like your true love of Christmas and be about like loving yourself or something stupid like that.
So, it was about this point though that I'm thinking Chris has got to be a nickname. He's got to be like a Christopher Nicholas or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Nicholas Christopher or
Like where's the twist? Where's it coming?
Yep.
So she continues to date all 3 of these Nicks regularly because the letter has changed. She's feeling the urgency. She's like, I'm going to just keep dating all 3 of them regularly, desperately trying to figure out which one is her true love. While back at work, they find an attic full of Olivia's old family things, including their Christmas decorations, which they're going to use in the design, and a box full of Olivia's old design sketches from her childhood. Now, she had thought all of these things were gone when they moved. They couldn't find them. They thought they were all lost in the move, but it turns out they were in this storage room in the attic. And so
why do they always fail to check out the attic in all these movies? I can't believe these are still here.
That one really stupid movie we watched, I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, yeah, the Norman Rockwell presents.
Yes.
All their Christmas decorations were in the attic.
Yeah, like Christmas decorations are important. Why aren't you making sure these are packed? If it's in the attic, just leave it.
Well, yeah, and I couldn't tell if like the stuff in the attic outside of that little storage room, was that also theirs? Like,
there were books and all kinds of things.
I don't.
There was a lot of stuff left behind.
But I could tell you if I bought a big house like that and it had a little like secret storage area in the attic, I'd be looking in there.
Sure.
And if it was somebody else's stuff, I'd be throwing it in the trash, probably.
Well, I would at least like try to contact the previous owners first.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Your Christmas decorations are here, and like a box of what looks to be really sentimental stuff. Do you want it?
But and they never really dive into this too much. But the assumption is that both the parents have passed away, and we don't know if that happened when they were little or older or.
Well, she does talk about that with Chris. Yeah. Her mom passed away when she was in college.
Oh, right.
And then her dad passed away a few years later.
Okay. So they moved out of this house. We don't know why. We have no idea why.
Yeah. And we don't know when. It could have been the Christmas after her Christmas wish. Who knows?
Right. And then somebody moved in there and trashed it.
Right. Or has anyone lived there? Maybe no one has. Maybe there was just squatters or something. I don't know. Yeah, so that was definitely a missed opportunity. I wish they would have explained that more.
Yeah.
But we can just use our imaginations.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because this is the scene. This is the scene where Chris finds out about her parents passing away. It's when they
Right.
find all these things. They're chatting in
Right.
the attic. They talk about their favorite Christmas memories, her taking a sleigh ride with her parents, and his being, oh no, what was his? I can't remember now. Oh, decorating the tree in front of his house.
In his yard. Yeah.
In his front yard. And something is shifting in the conversation here. We see them being really warm and sweet to each other. And it's at this point that Chris decides to use some of Olivia's childhood sketches from the attic to redecorate the dining room, which I thought was a really sweet little touch. And when he shows it to her, she's just amazed by the talent of the design. And she's like, how did you do this? Like this dumb model home creator, like this is a dating show guy. What does he know about interior design? And this is when we find out that he actually has a master's degree in architecture and design. And he's not unqualified, and that he really wanted to have a show more like the one that she's working on, but the network twisted and twisted and twisted his show until it became Model Home. And he's trying to get out of that and get to a place where he can do a show more like what she's working on. So we understand Chris a little bit more now. And so does Olivia, which means, they're falling in love. Okay.
Yes.
We knew it was going to happen, but it's starting now that she knows he has a master's in architecture. So that was the key.
Yes. They could be the design power couple of the universe.
Yeah. They're the new Chip and Joe.
Yes.
Matching capes. Did you say matching capes?
They're home design superheroes.
So she's continuing to date these Nicks, and she's actually on her way to a date with Nick A when she stops at Chris's house and she decorates the tree in front of his house to surprise him. And I thought that was so sweet that she recreated this childhood memory. He comes outside and he's all excited and he loves it. And he invites her to come in for dinner and to go over footage and hang out. And she says no, because she's on her way to a date with Nick. And my heart just broke because he looked so sad. And I was like, yeah, he's better than Nick A. What are you doing?
Yeah. Better than all the Nicks.
Yes. But she doesn't stay. She takes a rain check and this was so funny. They awkwardly go to hug each other or shake hands, or they're not really sure what to do. So they just fist bump.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so funny. But anyway, she goes to her date with Nick. They end up under the mistletoe. They kiss. Womp womp. There's no sparks. Nothing.
Yeah.
I could have told you that. Okay.
Yeah.
Could have told you. And at this point, I'm thinking none of these Nicks really seem like a good match for her. We've got Nick B, who doesn't like to travel, and that's something that she really wants to do. We've got Nick C, who's a bumbling idiot who only cares about his muscles.
He keeps sending her selfies.
For someone that's supposed to be her soulmate, none of these are very clear ringers for that role. And now the letter is glowing in her purse and decides to change again. And this time it says, the answer is close and that it's a merry gift unexpected. So whatever that means, this is another point where I was like, a gift unexpected. Come on, girl.
Yeah.
Stop looking in the direction you're looking. It's unexpected.
Yep.
So now they need to film the live reveal of the show. They've recorded everything, all the renovation, all the decorating thus far. And now the live reveal of the show happens on Christmas Eve, where they do the live tour of the house. And she's getting ready to host the live reveal when who should arrive but all three Nicks separately, but they all arrive to support her, which is very nice. but also
Yes.
very bad for her because
Oh, yeah.
none of these guys know that she's been dating all three of them, which
Uh-huh.
in retrospect is kind of messed up. I mean,
Yeah.
she should
She's
have
been
like
playing the
it
field.
should have been clear. It's okay like to date multiple people when you're trying to figure out who you want to date, right? But they probably
But they
should have
should know
known
that.
that this was not exclusive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
And can you really just show up on set
I don't think so.
and people just let you, oh yeah, you can just stand there and watch.
I've never tried, but I would
Maybe we
imagine
should.
that's probably not something they would let you do.
No. They probably have like barricades up,
Mhm.
and then that's where the fans are, is outside of that area.
Yeah,
I
because
would
they
think
just send
so.
them all in the backyard. They're like, if you're
Yeah.
having the show, get in the backyard.
Yeah.
Go find some
Okay.
candy canes and beat the crap out of each other.
Which is exactly what happened when
Mhm.
all three Nicks meet each other and discover that they've all been dating Olivia. They find some giant candy canes that squeak when you
Yeah.
hit them.
Yes.
And they get into an all-out candy cane brawl while the live broadcast is going. Olivia is standing next to this Christmas tree in front of this big window, and all three of them are outside through the window, smacking each other with candy canes. This is the WWE SmackDown that she never expected.
Well, and those candy canes, I get why the joke's got to work. It was funny. But
Yeah.
I'm like, would Olivia have actually used those in her
Inflatable
decor?
candy canes in the
No.
backyard. I don't think so.
Uh-uh. Didn't go with the aesthetic at all.
No.
It's funny though. It was
Yeah.
so funny. So it's on live television. She runs out the front door because God forbid they have a crew that like gets them out of there. No, Olivia, the host of the show, goes out in the front yard, which is strange because they're supposed to be in the backyard, but that's fine. She goes out
Oh,
front
yeah.
and she has this epic breakup with all three of them on live TV. And then Chris decides to break up with her too, even though they weren't dating. He's
Yeah.
very hurt by the candy cane trio. And they also
Well, when the Knicks start to leave, she's like, Nick,
Nick,
one by one as they're leaving.
all my options gone out the door.
Oh gosh.
And then the show's just over. That's it. That was the time we had allotted for the live broadcast. It was about 5 minutes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So it's over now. And sorry, your career is doomed. So she goes home. She's having a pity party. She's very sad. Her sister comes to visit her and she's just, beside herself, upset because this was her big chance to get her own series, to have this show be successful, and she blew it because of the Knicks and the candy cane debacle. Alas, the show brought in so much social media response and so much viewership that the network decided to give her own series after all. So
it was so great.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful news. She's very happy. Her and her sister are celebrating when the doorbell rings. And who is there but Chris's lady friend from the Christmas market? And she's like, what the heck is this broad doing
So
here?
she thinks her name is Joyce.
Yes.
Because when he gets a phone call, it says, Joyce is calling. Joyce is calling.
Yeah, he has the weirdest ringtone. Olivia is calling. Olivia is calling. Never. I would never want that. That makes me angry. So this woman is there. She finds out her name is not Joyce. Her name is Mary, and she's not dating Chris. They're just friends. Chris was helping her out with her charity, which is called Joyce. And she just thought Chris might be there because she knows that Chris and Olivia had been getting along. So she somehow tracked down Olivia's home address and brought Chris a gift basket to thank him for helping with the charity.
Why would she go there instead of to Chris's house?
I don't know.
Well, she knew he was going out of town.
Then why does she think he's at Olivia's house?
Maybe she thought he stopped by to say goodbye. I don't know. That's a little bit of a plot hole there.
It was a little bit of a plot hole.
Yeah.
And like how she even got her address or her name. I don't know.
Yeah.
She watched the live broadcast. To found out her
Maybe
name.
he's been talking about her, so that's why she thought.
Maybe.
And
that they
also
knew.
passing out her address to
Right.
Yeah.
everybody
Here's
he
where she lives
knows.
in case you ever want to deliver a gift basket.
Yeah. He
But we
wrote
do
it
find
down
out her
in the
name
Uber.
is not Joyce.
It's Mary,
Yeah.
It's Mary.
Mary.
who brought a gift unexpected.
Yeah.
A
Mary
Mary
gift.
unexpected,
Mhm.
which her sister puts together for her because Olivia still is not a true believer at this point. Come on.
So
So,
she
She can
Name's
hear
not
the
new.
bells.
Mhm.
yeah, she can hear the bells.
Well, the other
Why
mix
can
didn't
Olivia
work
hear the
out.
bells?
I don't know. She's not a believer. They're not
Yeah.
following the rules of Polar Express.
No, they're not. No train ticket for you. But speaking of train tickets, she decides to race to the train station to catch Nick before he goes back to New York to work on Model Home.
Chris.
Now Chris. Here is a question I had. He was sent in from New York. Now that the show's over, he's going back to New York. Didn't he have a house? Was he just renting it for a couple weeks? I thought that was
Oh.
his home. So I was a little confused. Does he have a home there and in New York? I don't know.
And to go to New York from Seattle by train is going to take a very long time.
Yeah, why is he taking a train?
Well, yeah, when they said they were calling for Spokane, I'm like, why is he going to Spokane?
Oh,
What is
yeah, he was going to
doing?
Spokane. Last call for Spokane, Washington.
is
It's
he
not
doing?
like the flights from Spokane to New York are cheaper than
No,
from Seattle to New York.
no. Like I'm like, what is he
Yeah, that
doing
was
in
weird.
Spokane? I don't think they film a lot of home renovation shows in Spokane.
No.
But train stations are more romantic, you guys.
It's
So-
true. It's true.
So let's
I mean, there
not
were
ruin
Christmas
it.
trees everywhere.
Yes.
Which,
It's
let's be
very
honest, it's a
romantic.
Greyhound station, Amtrak station combo.
Yeah, no.
It's
the
not
train
decorated.
stations around here don't look pretty like that. But
no, they
we're going to
don't.
pretend
Yes.
Mhm.
for the magic.
Yes.
Okay. So Chris is trying to board his train, but somehow instead of a ticket in his pocket, he finds a letter that looks just like Olivia's Santa letter, only this one's addressed to him. And it tells him that if he gets on the train, it's going to be the worst mistake of his life. Santa is really meddling, but he's not just meddling. He's going hard in the drama.
Oh, yeah.
Find him by midnight or you'll lose your true love forever. Get on this train and it'll be the worst mistake you ever make. Ooh, Santa, maybe cool it on the cookies and cocoa a little bit. I don't know.
And who has a paper ticket anymore? Is that a thing that people still do?
Every Hallmark leading man.
Yes, I guess that's true.
So Olivia shows up. Nick is still there. She's so relieved. She saw the train leaving and he thought he was on it, but he wasn't because he listened to Santa Claus. And she confesses her feelings for him. He confesses his feelings for her. And then what's it called? The sounds. The train sounds. The
overhead speaker.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. On the loudspeaker, they start saying, oh, I can't remember his last name.
Davis.
Nick
He's
Davis. Calling passenger Nick Davis, which first of all is weird that they're calling his name after the train has already left, but that's fine. Passenger Nick Davis. And she's like, and he's like, oh, I guess they must be looking for me or something. And she's like, wait, your name is Nick? His name is Nick. All along, he was right in front of her. It's a tradition in his family to name all the boys, firstborn boys, Nick. He goes by his middle name of Chris. Then she hears
His name was Nick Chris Davis. It's a terrible
Nicholas
name.
Christopher.
That's what I'm
Nicholas
guessing.
Well, that's
Nicholas
what we
Christopher.
That
can
sounds nice.
assume.
Yes,
right?
Jessica. That's what his name is. Okay. Don't make fun of Daniel Lissing. What's wrong with you?
Nick Chris.
Nick Chris Davis is a terrible name.
Chris Davis. He has 3 first names.
Oh,
So she hears
gosh.
church bells, string instruments. It starts snowing. They kiss. It's magical. End movie. Perfection. Best.
And why at this point did I start to tear up? I'm like, oh, They got
Yes,
their
because
happy
it was
ending.
perfect, magical, wonderful.
Uh-huh. And they're so good together.
So
So
good.
good. Yeah.
Yep.
So good. It just, I mean, yeah.
And Mom, you don't know the storyline between them on One Calls the Heart, right?
Well, I know that things don't work out.
Oh, you do? How did you find out? From the
Just
internet?
because I'm stupid and get on the internet.
I found out before I
So
saw
did I.
the thing
Yeah.
that happened
Yeah.
on accident because I was
Yeah.
like, what? How come?
Yeah, and then I didn't watch any more episodes after that because I don't want to see it. But I'll get back to it probably after the holidays. We're
I don't
talking
think
One
I
Calls the
have
Heart, if you don't
ever
know.
ugly cried like that to a TV series, especially a made for TV series.
No.
Never have I ugly cried so hard.
Phil literally thought like somebody died in real
Oh,
life.
Well,
he came home
Yeah.
and he's like, "What is wrong?"
I don't understand.
Great. So it's going to be like Thomas J. and My Girl. That
Worse.
one
Oh,
kills
It's
me.
worse.
it is
Mom.
Oh,
worse.
no.
But yeah, that.
Worse. I think it was like 5 episodes in a row that I was bawling.
Oh yeah.
Just everything. Oh man. But you
man.
know what? That is a sign of a good show and
Yes.
good
Mhm.
acting because I really felt like they were part of my family.
Yep.
And when
Yep.
you have such good chemistry between actors like that, and that can
Yes.
bring out that kind of emotion, because sometimes it's like, oh, okay, well, saw that coming. But if you
Mhm.
don't see it coming, and also
No.
they're part of your life and you don't want to let that go, it's like finishing a really good book and you want to start over again because it's like you've immersed yourself for
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
long.
Well, and it's like when you have 2 lead characters like that are so good together, it's like, what now what? Where's the show going to go after this? And I think that the creators and the producers of One Calls the Heart did an amazing job because the show is still fantastic.
Mhm.
They were able to like go through that and keep the show fantastic. Like it's so good.
Yeah.
It's still so good. And they're about to drop their 12th season and it's
Wow.
fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And can I just say, this is a total side note, but I absolutely adore Andrea Brooks. She just had her 3rd baby and she has had all 3 pregnancies while filming this show. And they do such a good job of like disguising with, her oversized doctor coats and her big doctor bag and all these things. But it's really cute how like, I don't know, I always notice I'm like, oh, she's wearing an oversized coat again. Is she pregnant?
Yeah.
I love that. I think it's really
Yeah.
cool how they just roll with it. And she
Mhm.
even said that after her 2nd baby, she told production that she wasn't going to need her maternity wardrobe anymore. And then she just had her 3rd baby and she was like, thank you for not believing me when I told you that I didn't need my maternity wardrobe anymore. So yeah, I just love that. Anyway, totally off topic.
And I think that Hallmark is really good about embracing family for their actors and their
Mhm.
crew and everything, because I don't know if you saw the video from the cruise. Jonathan Bennett was talking at the 2nd cruise, I believe, and he was saying how he and James, his husband, at first weren't really celebrating the holidays because Jonathan's parents had passed on. James had lost his parents shortly after, I think. And so they didn't really have this sense of family, and getting involved with Hallmark, they have this chosen family now and everybody supports one another, and now they really embrace the holiday season. And so I think that's really great. It seems like just an amazing company to work for.
Yeah.
That's so cool because I would never ever have guessed that Jonathan Bennett is like the king of Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's really weird to me to think about the idea that he wasn't really into Christmas for a while. Like,
Yeah.
it's really kind of cool. I was thinking about this the other day. Candace Cameron, we know as the Queen of Christmas, she was like Hallmark's Christmas person for so long.
Yeah.
And I thought it was going to be Lacey Chabert. I thought she was going to be the new Queen of Christmas, but I think they've really leaned into the King of Christmas and he is like rocking it. So that's been a really cool thing to see.
Yep. Yep. Now he has it's like 10 50-foot inflatables in his backyard.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah.
Gosh.
He just keeps adding to the collection.
I have been entering the Hallmark Christmas giveaway every day,
Oh, yeah.
faithfully,
Every day.
because I really want to win that giant inflatable Santa Claus for my front yard.
Yes, I want one of those.
I send a video of that to your dad every year saying, wouldn't this be great? And he looks it up on Amazon. It's like $3,000.
Oh yeah. I would never
Huge, like
buy it,
50-foot one.
but I want to win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If someone wants to give it to me, great.
I
Yeah,
will take it.
absolutely.
Snowman, Santa, reindeer, whatever you have.
The whole
Store-
family.
Yeah,
Mhm.
storing it will take up your entire garage, but
True.
Do they also,
And you'll
if
never
you
get it back in the
win,
box.
do you get like storage fees for life as well?
Yeah.
All right. So you want to hear a little behind the scenes details about this movie that I am
Yes.
obsessed with? I will watch this 500 more times. I will watch this every season. I'm obsessed. So I watched a little interview between Daniel Lissing and Erin Krakow about this film. And I found out that Erin and Dan hadn't actually been able to spend a lot of time together since he left One Calls the Heart 6 years ago. Can you believe that? It doesn't seem that long for me because I didn't watch it in real time. I watched it all over the past like 2 years. But yeah, 6 years ago, he left One Calls the Heart. And so they were just saying how it was really special to be able to get together again and recreate that magic, and that the One Calls the Heart fans have just been amazing and super supportive and really excited about this film. Daniel Lissing said that the script was unequivocally the best Christmas movie he'd ever been a part of. He didn't even know that Erin Krakow was attached to the film when he signed on to do it. So I thought that was really cool. That was like a fun little surprise for him to find out after he had already signed on to do the film.
That's cool.
They both said that When Calls the Heart fans are some of the most enthusiastic fans ever in the history of the world. And then I had to turn off the interview because they started talking about season 12 and I'm not completely caught up on season 11 yet.
Okay.
So I was like, I can't listen anymore. I don't want to know. The movie was filmed in Langley, BC, Canada. We know always that's pretty much where it's going to be. It was filmed, a good portion of it was filmed in Martini Town, which is a 16-acre New York themed backlot, which was also used in the wedding cottage. And really cool thing about Martini Town is that they actually open their doors to the public during Christmas time because they have so many Christmas movie sets. They will allow fans to come in and experience the whole magical Christmas movie set thing.
How fun.
And they have fully decorated sets and artists performing for entertainment. And I just thought that was really cool. That'd be a fun thing to do. So,
yeah, I saw somebody shared that on Instagram and I'd never heard of it, but I looked it up and yeah, they're counting down to when they open their doors for people to come and enjoy the holiday season there. It looks so cool.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do that. That'd be really fun. They also filmed at Robson Square Ice Rink in Vancouver. That was where Nick A rented out the entire ice skating rink. And they used cityscape shots of Vancouver and the suburb of Burnaby for interior locations. So everything was filmed in Canada. So that Seattle shot we saw was probably stock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so because this episode is airing at New Year's, I thought for our game today, we would just chat a little bit about what are you doing for New Year's Eve?
Ooh. Probably the same thing I do every year. Attempt to stay up till midnight and knock out by 10. I used to stay up and watch the Dick Clark Rockin' Christmas Eve and watch the ball drop.
New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. What did I say?
Christmas
Eve.
Christmas Eve. Maybe that's my problem. I'm trying to do this on Christmas Eve. Yeah, going out is not my jam on New Year's Eve anymore. I just want to stay home under a cozy blanket and watch a Christmas movie probably and then go to bed.
Sounds lovely.
I don't think I've ever gone out for New Year's Eve, honestly. I cannot recall a time where I got gussied up and went out. But this year at our coffee shop, we're hosting a New Year's Eve event. So
Fun.
that should be fun. So we're going to do that for families with kids who want to celebrate New Year's, but do it at noon instead of midnight.
I've seen
I
a
love
lot of
that.
people or a lot of businesses do that and do the little countdown and everything. I think that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so we're going to do that. And then we have Rapunzel is coming and Spider-Man is coming. So
Oh
that
my
should
gosh,
be
fun. That's really cool.
Yeah, so Bill, my husband, will bring our kids to that because I'll be there running it. And then I don't know. Yeah, we don't even have like a traditional dinner. Last year I tried to make gumbo because that's a traditional New Year's Eve dinner for a lot of people in the South, and
Mhm.
nobody liked it except for me. So
I love gumbo.
Me too.
the shrimp in Texas is different. Gulf shrimp tastes different than what I'm used to, and so that is a little weird. So I don't know. I want like a traditional New Year's Eve meal, but I haven't landed on what it is yet. So I gotta figure that out.
Yeah, I don't think I have a traditional New Year's meal either. I think we usually we stay home and we play board games until midnight. So that's our thing. And then
Mhm.
we all have sparkling cider and cheers and everybody goes to bed.
Yep.
Usually everybody tries to stay up till midnight. Usually Finley will fall asleep on the couch and then we'll have to wake her up for midnight and then everybody goes to bed. But yeah, I love that. Just my little family at home playing board games until midnight
Yeah.
and then we cheers and we go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because who
This
wants to be on
year-
the road anyway?
No, definitely not. Definitely
Mhm.
not. And I can't remember a time where I ever went out on New Year's either. I don't think I ever did that. Um, but this year we are actually visiting family in Idaho. So we will be doing a New Year's celebration over there with
Mhm.
some family. So that will be fun. Any New Year's resolutions this year?
Mm. I haven't really thought about it much, but just write more, be more intentional with my writing, set aside time to actually do it instead of saying, I've got to do it. Just set aside time. It's me time. It's something that I really enjoy and I love doing. So, I need to really make a point to make sure I'm taking care of that need in myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have not thought about it at all, but for me, resolutions are hard. I'm a pretty goal focused person, but I kind of
Mhm.
just set my goals as I meet them. So I don't necessarily do like a set of things at the beginning of the year, but definitely working more on my business than in it will be a goal for next year. So that I have a little bit more balance, because right now I do not have any balance. And I firmly believe that work-life balance is not achievable. Like sometimes home needs more attention, sometimes work
Mhm.
needs more attention, but I don't think you're ever going to be fully balanced. But definitely just working towards being a little bit more available at home. But that's part of opening a new business.
Yes.
Is just you got to be there until you find
Yeah.
somebody who can take your spot, and then you don't have to be there as much.
Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Yep, for sure.
So
Yeah, I used to be really big into New Year's resolutions. I'm like every year it was always like I'm going to work out more or I'm going to drink more water or whatever. I've kind of moved away from that because like you said I just kind of like to set my goals when I feel like it. I don't really feel like the beginning of a new year is a magical time to make a change. It just
No.
No.
like it can literally happen anytime. We've been focusing more on like as we're having dinner or dessert or whatever on New Year's Eve with the kids, just like talking about our favorite memories from the year or,
Mhm.
favorite things that happened or whatever. That I feel like that's doing my soul better to just have gratitude instead of this is what I want to change for next year because I don't
Mhm.
know. There's a lot of great things that happen throughout the year. And I think that there is so much focus on how are you going to make next year better instead of like how great was this year.
Mhm.
So I feel like
Yeah,
it's
I've
kind of
even
common.
seen
Oh, go ahead.
I've even seen where people take a jar, put it in your kitchen or whatever, and have strips of paper. And then anytime you have like a happy memory, like today, mom and dad took us out for ice cream, drop that in the jar. Today I made a goal in soccer or whatever, just happy little things. Everybody in the family does it whenever they come up. And then on New Year's Eve, you sit and you read each one and you kind of go
Oh
over
my
the year that way.
gosh.
I thought that would be a great
Okay.
thing to do with kids.
That's my New Year's resolution. I'm going to start that jar.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Because I feel like it has become a thing where it's like, oh, this year was terrible. I can't wait for next
Mhm.
year. It's like every day is a new day. Why are we waiting for the year to change? Like,
Yeah.
Well, and then before you know it, it's like it's been a decade of you thinking, "Oh, that year was terrible."
yeah,
Mhm.
no, it wasn't all terrible. There are good things
So,
that happen. Even in years where there's a lot of bad things that happen, there are still good things that happen. So
Mhm.
maybe
yeah.
we should
Absolutely.
be focusing our gratitude on those.
Yep.
So anyway, there you go. There's my soapbox. Let's rate the movie. We need to rate the
Yeah.
movie. And this
Oh,
movie
yeah.
is going to be rated on magical bells.
Ooh,
Magical
okay.
bells.
Yes. Okay. Who wants to go first?
I
I'll go
can.
first. Oh, go ahead, Jess. You go.
Okay. I loved this movie. I thought it was excellent and I expected it to be excellent. So that can sometimes be a hindrance, I think, for
Mhm.
movies. But I thought it was great. I thought it was well written, especially for somebody who's never written for Hallmark before. I felt like it was just different enough, but still really keyed into the main, plot points that they typically utilize. I loved that they had the additional 3 leading gentlemen were people that we recognized. And I feel like Nick C played like a self-obsessed jerk in another Hallmark movie at some point too.
I see typecast.
I have to look him up. Anyways, there were a few small things like the sweaters. I'm like, they could have been a little more homemade, just a few little things. But I would say I would give this 4.5 magical bells.
Okay.
Well, I will say, gotta turn my mic up. It's not. Oh, wow. Okay, sorry if that blasted you for a second.
No, you're
My
fine.
mic was
You're good.
cutting out. I echo everything you said. I loved this movie. I had high expectations for it as well, but it didn't disappoint on any level. I loved it. Had the romance, it had the magic, it had some comedy, and just their interactions and their chemistry together, as we know, is really good on One Calls the Heart. So putting them in another movie together where they're totally different characters, you always wonder, is that going to work? Are they going to be able to bring some comedic aspects and just because it's a different storyline? And it totally worked from start to finish. The sweaters, I thought they were beautiful sweaters. Maybe they didn't look homemade. Maybe they should have gone to the thrift store and gotten some ugly Christmas sweaters. That would have been fun. But yeah, the storyline with the Santa letters and the little bit of magic was just different enough from coming home from the big city to try to save something. It was just a very, very sweet story. And I'm actually going to give it 5 Christmas bells,
Yes.
jingling bells, what?
Magical bells.
Magical bells.
All
Yeah, I
right.
give it a 5. I will watch it over and over. If it's on in the background, I will leave it on. I will watch for those heartwarming commercials every time. Yeah, so I really, really enjoyed this one. I'll definitely watch it again, probably this holiday season.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I'm obsessed. I absolutely loved it. It is definitely one of my new favorite Hallmark movies. I will rewatch it every year. I will rewatch it this year. I will watch it when it's not Christmas time. Now I feel like I'm
Mhm.
reciting Green Eggs and Ham.
And I will watch it in a box.
I will watch it in a chair. I will watch it right up there.
It's so good though. I loved it. I loved the magic. I loved the love stories. I loved the comedy. It just like everything that I want in a Hallmark movie was in this movie. It was so wonderful. So can I give it 6? Can I give it a bonus star? Because
This is your movie.
we've
Do what you
got
want.
I give it 5 stars, but because we've got Jack and Elizabeth back together, I'm giving it a bonus. A bonus
Okay.
magical bell. 6.
Okay.
6 magical bells. Take that. All right. Next week, we will be back and chatting about all the fun made for TV movies we've been watching lately. And we'd love to know, what are you watching? What are your favorites? What are your not so favorites? Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Love on the Pod and share your episode thoughts or ideas by emailing us at loveonthepod@gmail.com. Plus, you can text us with future movie recommendations using the link in our show notes. If you loved this episode and want to hear more, please subscribe to the podcast as we drop new episodes weekly.
So whether you're redecorating your childhood home
or desperately seeking your soulmate,
we hope you never send your date to the hospital. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye.
Bye.